New Jersey. Live from the Clark Athletic Center field in South Boston, it's time for some midweek non-conference men's soccer on the Beacons Broadcast Network as UMass Boston hosts Salve Regina here coming up in just a few moments. Should be a competitive contest as we look at the matchup numbers between the two teams. Salve Regina has had trouble scoring goals this season, and it's been a big reason why they are at 500, currently at 3-2 in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. As for the Beacons, their offense has been playing very well on a bit of a winning streak now, 3 out of their last 4. And the player to watch for UMass Boston this afternoon, Marcus Pizzetti, the senior captain out of nearby Malden, Mass., had the game-winning goal versus Western Connecticut State on Saturday as the Beacons improved to 4-0 in the Little East for the first time ever in program history. Let's take a look what else is going on around Beaconville. Always a busy time of year, end of October, early November. Women's soccer is at Endicott College tonight. Women's tennis against Curry College, and then on campus here, volleyball hosting Bowdoin College. You can catch that at 6 p.m. on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Looking ahead for the men's soccer team, going to be on the road for a little while as they travel to Keene State for a conference matchup on Saturday, and then Worcester State and Plymouth State coming up next week. We'll duck out of here for the pre-game announcements and the national anthem and come back in a few moments here from the Clark Athletic Center field. Welcome back to South Boston and the Clark Athletic Center field. Moments away from kickoff between Salve Regina and UMass Boston. The Beacons 9-4 overall, 4-0 in the Little East. They sit atop the conference. First ever time in program history, the Beacons have started 4-0 in the conference. On Saturday, they topped Western Connecticut State 1-0 to win their third straight and improved to 4-0 in Little East play. That makes 8 out of 9 games overall as well. Marcus Pizzetti, the game-winning goal in the second minute. The Beacons also had to deal with a man down for much of the game as keeper Alfonso Rosales picked up a red card early in the second half with a rough slide tackle on some broken defense from the Beacons. So that meant Steve Sosa had to come in. The Beacons played with one less forward up front. And Rosales will have to sit a one-game suspension for this game. So Sosa will get the start again. He was named the Little East Conference Rookie of the Week after he got the start against St. Joseph's in some midweek action. It was a 4-0 win for the Beacons, and then coming on in relief on Saturday. So it's not like he has not played much this season. Overall, it'll be his third start. He's allowed 4 goals. All of those came in that blowout against Tufts, one of the top teams in Division III. Salve Regina, they are coming off a win as they snapped their 2-game losing streak. They took down Roger Williams 3-1. Alex Schumann scored twice, and also saw Daniel Stern, their starting keeper, make 5 saves. They improve to, as he improves to 4-5 this year. Stern making his 10th start, stops about 75% of the shots coming his way, and a 1.47 goals against average. So UMass Boston in their home whites with the blue stripes and numbers. Salve Regina, the Seahawks, in their road blues, kind of that aqua green color, and some white trim there as well. UMass Boston will kick off. Pizzetti and Mattos get things going for the Beacons. We're scoring 2.7 goals per game, best in the conference. They have been scoring very well. And the defense has stepped up as well. They haven't allowed a goal since a 2-1 loss to Bridgewater State. And there's an early shot that Sosa is able to get his right hand on. That one came off the foot of Alex Wazalewski, who is leading the Seahawks in every offensive category. 5 goals, 5 assists, and a team-high 15 points. Early scare for UMass Boston. As Steve Sosa already settled in. Sosa is a transfer from Bunker Hill Community College. This ball kicked towards the sideline. Pizzetti there for UMass Boston. And it's Alex Schumann, one of the Seahawks' 3 captains, taking it away. Salve Regina, a very experienced team. They return 11 seniors. After a bit of a disappointing season last year, they lost in the quarterfinals as the number 4 seed in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. They lost 2-0 on penalty kicks against Roger Williams, a team they just beat last weekend, so they're happy to get some revenge for that. Got a tough schedule this season. 5 teams having gone to the NCAAs last year on their slate, including these Beacons in front of us. But the offense has not quite been there for the Seahawks. Just 19 goals in 12 games, 7th in the CCC. And for the Seahawks, it's pretty simple. If they can get at least 2 goals on the board, it's almost good enough for a victory given they do have a pretty good defense. 16 goals allowed in their 12 games. Salve Regina is 6-0 when they can score 2 goals, and all 6 of their losses have come when they score none or 1 goal. Play bottled up in the midfield here in the first few moments after that early great look for Alex Wasilewski. Nearly 3 minutes gone by. Here's Pizzetti, had that game winner on Saturday. Gets it forward for Texera, and now he'll sprint down the sideline along with that Zach Bissell. Gets to the corner, tries to work back in, and lost his footing as Bissell takes it away. Cunha coming forward for some help. Salve Regina out of Newport, Rhode Island. It's only the 4th all-time meeting between these two teams. Beacons lead the series 2-1. It's the first meeting since 1987. Beacons look to move in. Zachary Kraft has the ball knocked aside. That was Pedro de Carvalho. Here's Kraft. Kept into the box here, and it'll be taken away by Rolando Barbosa. Barbosa getting the start. Sometimes he'll get these midweek matches off to get some rest. Playing today, though, this is the last non-conference game for the Beacons. And that long pass just out of the reach of Luis Mattos up front. Mattos giving chase, but it's taken away by Mark Marino. There's Mateus Reese on the throw-in. Reese was the Little East Defensive Player of the Week this week. At left fullback, he can come pretty far forward up the line to help out the Beacons' push on offense as well. Gonsalves taken away as it's passed up to Wasilewski. Demargioglu has a tough time setting it down. Pate has it taken away, and Pizzetti, a long pass up front. Opportunity for the Beacons. Mattos working. Pass in front to Silva, knocked down from behind. No whistle here. Ball stays in. Cross towards the far post, and it's headed aside by Zach Bissell. Good early look for the Beacons. Silvera was coming up to help out Mattos. Yeah, Mattos got tripped up from behind. So each team with a good look early on. We've played about 6.5 minutes. Long ball towards the corner, and will just sneak out. Off the near sideline, so it'll be a throw-in in the corner for the Beacons. And now, an early corner kick. Deflected off UMass Boston. Really a tough spot to throw in from the corner right there. Don't see it too often. Demargioglu will set up for the corner. Low ball in front. And knocked out of harm's way. Looked like Texera got a foot on it there. Cunha was in there as well. Here's Texera. Gets by Pate. And broken up nicely by Milo. Kraft. Long shot. Sosa knocks it down, but it'll be a corner kick for Salve Regina. Sosa was very close to that far post. Could have probably let it go out for a goal kick, but decided to play it safe. So second corner for the Seahawks in as many minutes. Headed away by Gonçalves. And now taken away by Mattos. Now Mattos kicks it in front. Flicks it forward by Gonçalves, and he'll try to loft one on net. As the Seahawks are quick to get back on defense. And an easy save for Daniel Stern. It was a tough pass from Mattos up to Gonçalves. Had to lead him while sprinting at the same time. And Gonçalves never really had a great look. Texera near the corner. And it's knocked out by Salve Regina. And the Beacons will have to do this throw in closer towards the corner where the ball went out. Just a few feet from being the first corner kick for UMass Boston. And back out, Reese, low ball in front, and knocked aside. That was Richie Finizio in there. For all the senior experience on this Salve Regina team, just 5 seniors in the starting lineup. Seniors have been a huge part of the scoring for this team. They've scored 44 of the team's 54 points. Here's a chance for the Seahawks in the box. And blocked away. Cunha in there for UMass Boston. Texera up the sideline. Back towards the middle. And just a little too hard off his foot. Well, Mark Marino affecting his touch on the ball. Alex Schumann. And a free kick upcoming here for Salve Regina. Nearly 10 yards on the other side of midfield. Sent into the box, headed up by Cunha. And Sosa with great leap to get that one out of the air. Could have been very dangerous. Sosa looking good so far. He's been busy. 12.5 minutes into this first half. No score between UMass Boston and Salve Regina as Little East meets Commonwealth Coast here on this Tuesday afternoon. Here's Pizzetti, and sends it up for Texera, and the Beacons look to run. And Texera has it knocked out by Zach Bassell, who's using the sideline to his advantage, and that will slow up the Beacons' offensive assault for the time being. And possession here given to Salve Regina. Kick is knocked forward, and nearly some poor miscommunication there between the back line of the Beacons and Sosa, and it's ultimately Sosa grabbing the ball as Alex Wazalewski was very, very close to having an opportunity. Now Sosa will give it back out to Cunha. Barbosa. Silvera. One touch back for King. Barbosa trying to hit it to Texera. Has to battle there with Bassell. And knocked out by Schumann. Onsides here, and it's just missed off the side of the foot by Mattos. And he's wrestled. Looks like Marino there taking the ball away from him. Mattos just didn't hit it cleanly whatsoever. Good quality looks for both teams. Over 15 minutes gone by in the first half here at the Clark Athletic Center field in South Boston. Thanks for joining us here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Another low kick, well wide of the right post. That one from Pizzetti. Co-captain of this team, along with Douglas Silvera. Ball deflected out, will go to the Beacons. Salve Regina looking to counter. Silvera up to Pizzetti. He's got Reese up the sideline. Instead will go farther up for Texera. And Texera guarded nicely by Marino. Now here come the Seahawks. And Kraft is just tripped up a bit by King. Cunha there as well for UMass Boston to foil that opportunity. De Carvalho up. Reese sends it up. That ball still in. Now here's Schumann. Schumann with some room. Chased down from behind by Pizzetti, but the ball comes to Demarzioglu. Schumann a little shaken up, but he'll get up and walk under his own power. Barbosa was evading Wasilewski there. Quick strike up for Gonsalves. And that will be knocked out off the sideline. Throw in here for the Beacons. Silvera. Long cross. Marino steps in front of it for the header. Ball sent in front. Marino, or that is Steve Aston there, to send it away. Alex Schumann is off as Enrique Lacaros comes on for Salve Regina. 25-35 left in this first half. See that Salve Regina back line right on midfield. That ball off of Wasilewski. Texera battling, trying to get by Basel, but it's last touch out of bounds off his foot. Basel's done a nice job up that far sideline. The Beacons have been trying to work it a lot, but one of the seniors, Basel, playing great defense and that fullback role on the right side. Pizzetti back for Barbosa. Finds Barbosa's foot again. Gets by Lacaros, moving closer. Pass in front. Texera. Bottled up by a few defenders. And Salve Regina will get out of that jam as Lacaros controls. Beacons were very close to getting a quality shot off. Barbosa and Texera just needed a little more time to get an open look. Pizzetti up the side for Barbosa. Able to run by Basel, but Basel battling with him. And Basel wins it away again. Here's Gonsalves. Now here's Texera moving in. And just misses Mattos on the far side. And that ball is to the left of that stick in the corner. So this will have to be a throw-in for Salve Regina. Another good look for UMass Boston. Tough to tell if Texera was going for the shot towards the back post or he was trying to lead Mattos. Given the curve on the ball, I would to think it's the latter. He was going for the pass. Devin LaRue is into the game for Salve Regina on the front line to replace Wazalewski. Ball given up to LaRue. And taken away by the Beacons. And they look to push. They get it up for Barbosa. Pizzetti able to kick it forward, but too hard. And Stern comes out to take away the pass. Just crossed over the halfway point of this first half moments ago. No score so far between UMass Boston and Salve Regina. Some midweek non-conference men's soccer here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Both teams with a couple chances. In the first moments of the game, Alex Wazalewski for Salve Regina almost had a point-blank opportunity that Steve Sosa was just able to get his right hand on and stop. That's probably the best opportunity we've had so far. But the Beacons have gotten looks near the box and inside the box as well. But no real threat given to Seahawks keeper Daniel Stern. Beacons will have a free kick. And a good look at a set piece inside the box. Douglas Silvera to take the kick. It's good. And knocked down by Stern. Kept alive here, Pizzetti. Able to get in by. Has a look. Knocked down again by Stern and cleaned up behind for a goal. Luis Mattos gets the Beacons on the board 1-0. You could kind of sense that the Beacons were going to get a very good look, and then when Stern wasn't able to hold on to the ball, an easy rebound cleanup for Mattos. His third goal on the season. That initial shot coming from Pizzetti, and Pizzetti had all kinds of time in the box as the Seahawks were not challenging him, and then he made one move to his right and suddenly had a great shot on goal. So the Beacons have now scored 7 straight goals in their last 4 games. They have not allowed a goal since September 30th when they lost 2-1 to Bridgewater State. Defense had been hit and miss before that. Allowed 20 goals on the season. This one's cleared out by Cunha. And here come the Beacons pushing again. Here's Kang. Kang with some fancy footwork, able to get it up for Texera. Into the middle for Silvera. And flag raised, and see what the call is here. Foul against Salve Regina. Free kick for UMass Boston just outside the box. And we've seen this sometimes this season. The Beacons can score in bunches. Silvera to take the kick. Lobs it in front, headed up, and just too high. Cunha able to get his head on it, but missed it well too high. Beacons have been able to crack this Salve Regina defense just a little bit. Early on, they had a really tough time getting by that back line and setting up opportunities. And now it's been a couple fouls against the Seahawks that have set up plays for the Beacons, and they've been taking advantage of them. Most recently, of course, that goal by Luis Mattos. Free kick now for the Seahawks. Good ball, but it's headed out by Texera. And he'll come up to challenge. Now Barbosa with room. All kinds of time and space. That is until Aston comes from behind to challenge. Ball knocked up. Damargioglu there for Salve Regina. And we're going to get substitutions coming on for both teams. We'll see Nolan Brady on for Salve Regina, and Edmilson Barros will come on for the Beacons. Kraft comes off for Salve Regina. And Texera comes off for UMass Boston. Foul here against Salve Regina. And the Beacons with a quick start off the free kick. Cunha up. And that ball much too hard. Out of the reach of LaRue, sorry. And now here's Evan Dudney in the game. Edmilson Barros comes from behind. And now a foul whistled against the Beacons, and a great opportunity upcoming for Salve Regina. Beacons can't believe the call. Silvera looking for an explanation from the official. This ball about 6-7 yards outside the box. Beacons will line up 5 players 10 yards away as Damargioglu sets up. Lobs it and can't hook it back down. Misses it high and wide to the right. Both teams would like to cash in on those free kicks right outside the box. It's almost too close for a shot, and then when you get those bodies lined up like the Beacons had, makes it tough to pass because then they can react. And all of a sudden you got a lot of defenders in the box. Steven Aston on the free kick. Beautiful ball as it gets into the box, but out of the reach of Dudney. And Sosa will corral it before it will get off the back line. Inside 13 to go in the first half. Beacons up 1-0 on Luis Mattos' third goal of the season. Marcus Pizzetti generated the opportunity. His shot created the rebound, and all Mattos had to do was hit it cleanly. Had a wide open goal in front of him as Daniel Stern, the keeper for the Seahawks, was caught out of position. Now here's Barros working up the sideline. He'll send it, lops it in off the post. Nearly gets that one to hook in. Edmilson Barros with a great shot. Stern leaped but couldn't get a hand on it, and that one just hit the post right below the crossbar. Beacons getting a lot of looks in this first half. Probably think they should have more than one goal on the board. Barbosa passes it up. Mattos again, knocked down by Stern, and it's cleaned out by Bissell. Calvin Smick will come on for UMass Boston. And he will replace Mattos. Teus Reese with a strike that's deflected back out of play. Flip back for Barbosa. Finds an open Gonsalves. Now Barros with room. Puts this one on, and it clips the top of the crossbar and gets out. And a corner kick upcoming. That one did just get the fingertips of Daniel Stern. So how about Edmilson Barros coming on and generating some offense for the Beacons? It'll be their first corner kick of the afternoon. You can see that wind ripping from right to left. Low ball sent in. Cunha can't hit it cleanly. Milo gets to it first, but taken away by the Beacons' defense. Comes back down for Gonsalves. Inside 10 to go in this first half. Beacons have been dominating scoring chances since that goal by Mattos. Another free kick here for Salve Regina, though. They've had plenty from this range. Haven't been able to get any good looks off of it, however, as Aston plays it forward, and just too high for LaRue. Would have been a tough angle for him, though. He was on the right side of the box. Klitzman Mendez in for the Beacons. Looks like Pizzetti head off for the Beacons as Mendez comes on. Long throw in hardly stays in bounds. Cunha sniffed that out. Intended for Demargioglu. Here's Demargioglu, but taken away by Gonsalves. Knocked right back to Demargioglu, and Cunha will just send it off. Quick throw in. Dudney gets by, has a look, and deflects in. That one went off the right foot of Mateus Reese. Was not hit cleanly by Dudney. Reese would have been better off just letting it go. Deflects off his right foot and in, and we are all tied up. Evan Dudney, his first goal of the season. And how about that change of events? UMass Boston had been dominating in possession and offensive chances for the last 15 minutes. But Salve Regina, off that free kick, they're able to keep the ball down there, and they generate a good look, get a favorable bounce, and then a favorable deflection. And not much Steve Sosa really could have done, as that one went top right shelf. And all of a sudden we got a brand new ball game. They'll credit Devin LaRue with the assist on that goal. Inside 7.5 to go before halftime. And you know Beacon's head coach Jake Beverlin's going to be a little frustrated allowing that goal late in the first half after they'd been playing so well. Here's King deferring off for Paul Earn. Came on moments ago. King switches field across for De Carvalho and up for Reese. Up for Barbosa. Looking to cut inside, and offsides is the whistle. Ball off of Cunha's head. Gonzalez has it knocked back to him. He's able to clear it out. Milo on the throw-in for Salve Regina. Earn with the header to knock it out of play. And not really sure what Edmilson Barros was doing there. It's going to be a corner kick here for Salve Regina. Just tried to kick that one high, kicked it backwards and off the end line. Critical mistake by Edmilson Barros. Third corner kick here for Salve Regina. Sent in by LaRue. And kicked wide as Nolan Brady hit that one a few feet wide of the far post. And you could hear Beacon's head coach Jake Beverlin telling his team to wake up, as they have looked sluggish since allowing that goal to Evan Dudney. And tying this game up at 1 goal apiece as we're a few minutes away from halftime. Another free kick for the Seahawks. A lot of fouls committed by the Beacons. Most of the fouls have come around midfield, except for one just a few yards outside. And Sosa makes the basket catch. Long throw out to Barbosa. And Barbosa with speed and room. Barbosa, he has Smick with him. Stays on his feet, and he is knocked down by Bissell. And no whistle called. Beacon's bench can't believe it. They thought Barbosa got tripped up from behind. And it'll just be a goal kick for Daniel Stern. It's kind of long runs we've seen from the Beacons throughout much of this first half. There's Alexander Hoagland. Checked into the game moments ago for Salve Regina. Brady gets tied up with Paul Earn. And now here comes Barros. Barros ahead for Smick. Back for Silvera. Across for Reese coming up. Reese will send a ball in. Smick can't hit it cleanly. And Dudney is fouled with 2:23 to go before halftime. Seahawks will have Stern come up for this long free kick. Barbosa forward. Smick to the corner, onside. Pacell waiting for him to make a move. Cross towards the middle, nobody home for the Beacons, and Milo kicks it out. Dudney up the field, out of the reach of LaRue. Yeah, Sosa waits for it with a minute and change left before halftime. Sosa just trying to kill time, boots it off the sideline. See if Salve Regina tries to hurry here, if they're content with the 1-1 score for now. Throwing up coming for UMass Boston. And both teams content to take this tie game into the locker room. 1-1 UMass Boston and Salve Regina through 45 minutes. And if you ask Seahawks head coach Craig O'Rourke, you're going to be outplayed in the first half, but it's still going to be a tie game. I'm sure they would take it. Luis Mattos with the early goal for UMass Boston put home a rebound generated by Marcus Pizzetti, and the Beacons really controlled most of the possession and many of the offensive chances. And then Evan Dudney puts home a goal with about 8 minutes left before halftime, and it deflected off the right foot of Mateus Reese, has us all tied up. 45 minutes more upcoming in just a bit here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to the Clark Athletic Center field. Second half just moments away. 1-1 game between UMass Boston and Salve Regina. And you can tell the Beacons were a little frustrated there in the final moments of that first half after a lucky goal, quite frankly, scored by Evan Dudney. Did not come off his foot cleanly, but it deflected off of the right foot or the right leg of Mateus Reese, and then was perfectly sent to the top right corner. And Steve Sosa had no chance to save it. That tied the game with about 7 minutes left, and the Beacons just looked flat the rest of the first half. But they did play well throughout, had lots of chances, a lot of long runs. Beacons were able to get in and around the box, and probably thought they could have had a couple more goals in that first half, but still 45 more minutes left. As Salve Regina will kick off. Seahawks coming off a win. Haven't had too many winning streaks to talk about this season. It's been very back and forth en route to their current 6-6 record. This is also their last non-conference game before they travel to Endicott on Saturday. The Beacons will be at Keene State. Here's a pass up for Barros. Barros pass in front and nearly an own goal there. It was knocked up by Aston, and this ball cleared off the sideline. It'll stay here with the Beacons. We'll see if we get a long throw-in. Barros gave a huge spark to the Beacons' offense when he came in midway through the first half. He's been able to outrun a lot of players. Salve Regina trying to counter as Wineshake has it knocked away by De Carvalho. Nice effort by Mattos to force a throw-in instead of a corner kick. Just beats the ball to the back line. Paul Earn sends it back to Cunha. Nice one touch off the foot of Lanier Lima into the game for the first time, trying to lead Arlindo Gonçalves, and just takes a bad bouncing. Gonçalves can't handle it. Sosa knocks it out of harm's way. Silvera, Earn, and now Barros. Now trying to reverse field. It's Lima to the middle of the box, nobody home. Right to Zach Bissell. Here's Zachary Kraft battling Barros, and Barros able to out-muscle him. Trying to get up to Mattos. Last touch by Stephen Ashton of the Seahawks. Here's King across for Lima. A little too hard off his foot, stays with it. Back towards the middle, left foot. And cleared out again. Cunha plays it down. Salve Regina being very methodical here. Got a few chances in the first half. There are few and far between. Beacon's defense was pretty good. Four minutes gone by in the second half. Remains 1-1. Great fall afternoon here in South Boston. Temperatures around 70 degrees. A little bit of wind, but nothing too aggressive that will affect play at all. Stern gets a lot of air under that ball. Milo takes his time. And the official says Schumann was out of bounds when he played that ball. So Cunha knocks it forward, just past Mattos. Choppy back and forth play here. King up to Lima. Got those long legs as he beats the defender. Chips it across and it's knocked off. It'll be a corner kick here for UMass Boston. Ball was misplayed by Bissell. Went off his foot. Silvera will take the kick. Sent in and on top of the net. Never had a chance to be in play. He didn't get it to hook back in like he wanted to. And King whistled for the foul. Paul Earn gets his pads checked out by the referee. And let's see what Salve Regina does on this free kick. Had about half a dozen from this range. They get it into the box. Settles down. Schumann trying to turn around. Cunha able to get in there and break it up. And UMass Boston will take possession. Sosa decides to keep it on the ground this time and gives it off for Cunha, who will send it forward. Great ball to Lima. Lima on the far side, pass in front, knocked aside by Stern, stays in the air, and cleared out by Milo. Just too many bodies in there. Mattos was going to have a great look as Lima using his speed again on the far side to generate another opportunity. De Carvalho can't find Barros. Mattos picks the pocket of Zachary Kraft, and the Beacons back on the offensive. And Mattos just loses it off his foot. Substitution for Salve Regina. Kraft will come off, and back in is Isa Damargioglu. Captain subbing in for captain. Foul against Salve Regina. And they make sure Edmilson Barros is okay, and we'll jog it off. De Carvalho comes forward. Up for Barros. Looks to turn and run towards the corner. Barros cross and too much on it as it gets out of play. Goal kick upcoming for Daniel Stern. 35 minutes left in the second half. And still a 1-1 ball game between the Beacons and the Seahawks. Luis Mattos scored his third goal of the season midway through the first half for UMass Boston. And Evan Dudney got a fortunate deflection off the right leg of Mateus Reese to knock home a goal for the Seahawks in the final 10 minutes of the first half. That's where we stand so far. Paul Earn comes to Reese. Up for Barros, who will flick it back to Pedro De Carvalho. Beacons have been taking their time for the most part in the second half. There's a nice long pass. Lima battling. And Sosa smartly comes out to take that chance away. Weinshank coming up for Salve Regina. So Vera whistled for the foul. And a yellow card issued against Douglas Silvera. Well, the PA just announced that as Marcus Pizzetti not currently in the game. He's on the bench. So it looked like a situation where Silvera had an instant reaction to kind of bark back at the official, and then Pizzetti chimed in from the bench, and that drew the yellow card. Free kick, it's Cunha. It's a lot of air under that. Pate up to De Marzioglu. Taken away, Silvera. And now Lima. Lima with Schumann in front of him, back towards the middle. And can't thread the needle to get it up to Mattos. Another pass in front, denied. This one finds its way to Gonçalves. And now taken away before Cunha will knock it out. There's a pass in front, and it's knocked aside by Zach Bissell. And I think they're going to call a foul on Barros. That'll take away a would-be corner kick as Bissell sent that away. Be a goal kick here for Stern. As that's Bissell, he's just tying his shoe. And he's okay there for the Seahawks. Bissell did a great job on that right fullback position for the Seahawks. UMass Boston was trying to work that sideline early in the game and pretty much abandoned all hope of getting past Bissell. Broken up by Earn, but settled down. Mazalewski challenged by De Carvalho. Spins back towards the middle. Cross in front. And it's just past the reach of Richie Finizio. As here comes Lima. Lima and Mattos not on the same page. So that ball will come back down for Stern. Pass up intended for Mattos, denied by Aston. And now looking for Finizio. Now here come the Beacons the other way. Lima trying to kick it forward to himself, but Stern smartly comes out to deny any opportunity. Been a much quieter second half offensively from the first. Another team with great chances. A lot of long passes that have just not had much of a chance to find any teammates. And some confusion as to which way this ball is going, and it will be Salve Regina's on the throw-in from the far sideline. Demarzioglu off the throw-in. Kept in by Schumann. Pate ships it forward and right to Sosa. An easy save. Quickly outlets to Barros. And Barros with room. Barros chased down by Wazalewski. Stops that threat, but misplayed, and here's Kang. Kang forward and stopped on the back line by Mark Marino. Barros was waiting behind. That one played forward for Barros. Barros trying to settle it down. A strike. And lobs just over the crossbar. 27:35 to go. King knocked down. And a quick touch and go for UMass Boston. Lima across towards the middle. Barros is there. Barros with room in front and deflected off the shins of Daniel Stern. Goal kick upcoming, but Edmilson Barros has been a force on the front line for UMass Boston. Has done just about everything except score a goal. Beacon still with a chance on this corner kick. Silvera will take it. And that one, can't get it to hook back in again. Second straight corner kick he's taken from that spot and just hasn't been able to get the spin on it and put it back into play. Enrique Lucaros back on for Salve Regina. He will replace Joseph Pate. Best chance of the half so far. If Barros could just get a little elevation on that, go towards the top right corner, could have potentially had the go-ahead goal here for the Beacons. Great play by Daniel Stern to come forward and really limit Barros' options. Devin LaRue and Nolan Brady back on for the Seahawks. Wasilewski off as well as Weinshank. King in the middle, Earn to Gonsalves and De Carvalho. Carvalho with time, looking for Barros. Another sub for Salve Regina. Milo back in for Finizio. Earn to Kane. King moving forward. Now Reese will play it back. De Carvalho. And he'll just send it back for Sosa. Evan Dudney scored the goal for Salve Regina. Damar Gioglu. And that ball stepped in front of by Gonsalves. Here come the Beacons. Gonsalves. Now Lima. Lima lobs it forward, and it's past Barros, and he won't be able to get there in time. Really a tough play to make for Lima. If he's going to set up Barros, he needs to get arc on it to get it over the defense and then have it settle it back down. Or to do that, he's going to need a little bit of topspin on the ball and Nearly impossible to do when you're trying to kick the ball up. Now here's a give and go. Chance in front and a goal. Douglas Silvera. UMass Boston up 2-1. As Douglas Silvera has had opportunities all game long, finally puts it home. Beacons have been knocking on the door for a while. Probably thought they should have had at least another goal in the first half and finally break through here with 22 and a half minutes to go. He was set up by Luis Mattos, so give 3 points on the day for Mattos. Came into the game with just 4 points on 2 goals. And he's been a big threat on the front line for the Beacons, who are now in great position to win their 4th straight game and pick up their 10th win on the season. Still plenty of time here for Salve Regina, over 20 minutes. But their offense has been neutralized so far here in the second half. And the Beacons have played well with a lead all season. Gonsalves can't control that pass. And another substitution for Salve Regina. And Zachary Kraft back on for Alex Schumann. So have been subbing in and out for each other. 2 of the 3 captains on this team, along with the Margioglu. Beacons still hounding those forwards and upper midfielders, trying to take the ball away. Kraft trying to get a break up front, but De Carvalho heads it before it can get there, and now the Beacons the other way. Lima darting back to the inside and broken up nicely. That was Stephen Aston for Salve Regina. The back line for the Seahawks has played well. It's been the midfielders that have been getting beat, and the back line has really had to bail the rest of the team out, as UMass Boston has been able to run down the field on the outside consistently all game long. Say the back line has not been the issue here for the Seahawks. They can get a little more defensive help from their midfielders. And here goes Barros again. Barros back towards the middle, and it's stopped by Aston. Aston's made a lot of great plays like those. We've seen Bissell also win a lot of 50-50 balls. And the Beacons have just really exploited the outside. Here's Lima. Been doing it all second half long. Back towards the middle. Mattos with time. And that one just on the outside of the net. Mattos can't believe he missed it. That was nearly the second goal of the game for Mattos. That would have been 5 points on the afternoon. And could have potentially sealed this game. Stern came running out in a hurry. Mattos didn't have many places to put it. Tried to put it in that upper right corner of the goal. Pass in front and knocked home. It's Barbosa from Elton Texera, giving the Beacons a 3-1 lead just moments after Luis Mattos nearly scored. For Barbosa, it's his 5th goal of the season. And the Beacons have put a stamp on this game. We've seen them score in bunches before, scoring twice here in a matter of 5 minutes in the second half to take a commanding 3-1 lead over Salve Regina. Barbosa with the goal, Texera with the assist. Second assist for Texera. They also give Barros credit for an assist on that goal as well. For Barros, that's assist number 7. Nice to see Barros get rewarded with a point because he has been great offensively on the left side up front for UMass Boston. Salve Regina trying to answer, and it's taken away. That was Miguel Alcantar in for the first time this afternoon. Lima back to work on the outside. One move, and trying to get by, and he's fouled. And I believe we'll have a penalty kick here. Lanier Lima fouled just inside the box. And that's what it'll be. Edmilson Barros will take the kick for UMass Boston. As a team, the Beacons are 4 of 4 on the season in PKs. Daniel Stern awaits. And here's Barros. Puts it home with ease. Score, Edmilson Barros. And the Beacons, up 4-1, have blown this game wide open. 4th goal of the season for Barros. And now he has a 3-point day, him and Mattos leading the way. So the first part of the second half was pretty choppy back and forth, no great opportunities, and now in the past 7 minutes, Beacons have blown it wide open, 3 goals. As this will be a goal kick for Steve Sosa. Started with Douglas Silvera. Put away a little give and go with Mattos. And then Rolando Barbosa moments later, set up by Elton Texera, as the Beacons won the kickoff right back. And then it was Lanier Lima who was fouled just a few feet inside the box on the far side. And Edmilson Barros with the penalty kick to make it 3 straight goals scored by UMass Boston. Salve Regina had only allowed 1.25 goals per game coming in. So they gave up 4 goals a week ago to Wesleyan. A 4-0 loss for them. And with 15 minutes left, the Beacons on their way to another midweek non-conference win, and will be their 4th straight victory. As they head into the weekend, they have a trip to Keene State coming up. Salve Regina trying to salvage the last part of this game, see if they can get on the board one more time. And really the one goal they do have was off a fortunate deflection. The shot was heading offline. Stern will get there first. Texera battling hard. As we always see, the Beacons just kind of want to keep going when they are able to score a few goals consecutively. Gives them a lot of energy, and they just like to keep running hard. Here's Texera again. That goal by Evan Dudney towards the end of the first half. He was about in the middle of the box and went to strike it, and it was not hit cleanly. It was headed towards the corner, but Mateus Reese coming back to try and play defense. He comes up and it deflects off his right leg or his right knee. It was tough to tell, but that right leg part of his body deflected perfectly to the top right corner of the net. Here comes Lima. This ball still in. Barbosa's knocked down. It's Barbosa, not Lima. And Barbosa will have a free kick here. Silvera sends it in. Headed back towards the middle. And that goal will not count. It went off the back line. Last touch by UMass Boston. New goalkeeper for Salve Regina. Freshman Brian McCormack comes on for his 2nd appearance of the season. Has made just 1 save so far in his first year. Out of Narragansett, Rhode Island. Played just 14 minutes before this opportunity. As Craig O'Rourke tries to get his young keeper some time. Daniel Stern is a starter. Also has Kyle Korezka on the roster, a senior who has made a few starts as well. Here's Wazalewski. Looking for Dudney. De Carvalho there. And he's able to deflect that off Dudney. And a throw in here for UMass Boston. De Carvalho with that kick. Been solid once again from the center back position. Him and Cunha. A great 1-2 there on the back line for UMass Boston. Not much gets by them. Substitutions coming onto the field for Salve Regina. LaRue and Weinshank back on. Calvin Smick and Claesman Mendez back in for UMass Boston. As Zach Vassell sets up this free kick for Salve Regina inside 9 minutes to go. A little low and it's knocked away. That was Lucas Silva with the header. Came in just a few moments ago, making his 5th appearance of the season. Enrique Lacaros in to replace Issa Demargioglu. And now here's a ball up. Barros onside. And just can't get it over the goalkeeper McCormack. And hit enough of McCormack to head towards the middle of the field. Beacons keeping the pressure on. As Mendez can't keep it in play. Knocked aside there by Silva. And now ball taken away. Lacaros. And Silva able to neutralize the threat. Ball's kicked out. De Carvalho with the header. Dudney settles it down. De Carvalho takes it away. Passes up for Mendez. Mendez waits for the ball, now turns and goes. Tries to get it up for Barros, but it's deflected out by Finizio. .6:40 to go. 4-1 UMass Boston. Ball hits Sky Eye Alcantar. A little shaken up as he and Peter Christensen went for the ball at the same time. And Alcantar not getting up in. See if the training staff jogging over, but they're called off. Alcantar able to get up under his own power. Good sign. Sophomore from San Diego, California, making his just his 7th appearance of the season. Calvin Smick will take this corner kick. Loops back in. Barros heads it cleanly, but off the side. And Cunha just runs out of room there on the back line. Mendez controlling again. Defended by Xavier Feliz. Ball sent toward the middle, just over the head of Barros. And McCormack picks it up. And the linesman whistles a foul against UMass Boston. Free kick here for Salve Regina. Trying to steal a goal here at the end. Lofty ball. Headed up. Off of Christensen and back out. Paulern across for De Carvalho. Up the field, Silva. Then back, Beacons. No rush to make any dangerous passes here. And Barros offsides there. Trying to add another. Barros and Mattos each with a goal and an assist in this game. Silvera and Barbosa also scoring for the Beacons. Was Mattos scoring midway through the first. Beacons had a lot of chances in that first half. And then Salve Regina came back and was able to equal it off the foot of Evan Dudney to tie the game with about 7 minutes left. And it was a really lucky goal. Deflected in, and it kind of deflated the Beacons a bit. They played flat for the final 7 minutes of that first half. And they're just a little frustrated to go into the locker room with a tie game, even though they felt they outplayed Salve Regina a bit. And in the second half, really choppy through the first 15, 20 minutes. And then the Beacons finally broke through, and here's potentially another. Mendez in front, and a goal. Cleesman Mendez makes it 5-1. Sophomore gets his first goal of the season. The Beacons in the last 20 minutes have been firing on all cylinders. 4 goals scored in the last 20 minutes. Had a run of 3. I was just describing. Had a run of 3 goals in about 7 minutes to open the floodgates. Lucas Silva gets the assist. Now another opportunity for Mendez. And just misplays it off his right foot. So Clisman Mendez gets some room, able to make McCormack come out from the goal and make him miss and put it away. It's been that kind of second half for UMass Boston. Well, it's been tough for Salve Regina because the back line has just not been helped out. Beacons have dominated in the midfield, both in possession and then setting up chances on the front line. The Seahawks have been very busy. The defenders at least. Both the center backs and the outer backs have had to chase down a lot of players. And then with not winning much possession in the midfield, the forwards up front, Weinshank, Mazalewski, just have not gotten opportunities to score up front. That's pretty much been how the game has gone. With 1 minute to go here, Salve Regina disappointing after they're trying to build on that 3-1 win over the weekend at Roger Williams. They looked good in that game. Now they'll be back on the road for a few more. This is the third game of a 5-game road swing for them. Their next 2 games will be at Endicott and at the University of New England, both conference games for them. So they're still in the hunt at 3-2 in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. Meanwhile, UMass Boston will be at Keene State on October 18th. So they'll be on the road for the next couple weeks to take their perfect record a little bit further as the final horn sounds. And that will do it this afternoon. 4 second-half goals for UMass Boston as they cruise to a 5-1 victory over Salve Regina. Had 4 goals scored in a matter of 20 seconds. Recap the scoring for you real quick. It was Luis Mattos scoring first midway through the first half, and then in the second half, goals from Douglas Silvera. Had another from Rolando Barbosa, a penalty kick goal scored by Edmilson Barros. And just moments ago, Clisman Mendez with his first goal of the season. Mattos and Barros leading the way with a goal and an assist for 3 points each. Looking ahead for this team, they will have to play away from this field at Keene State on Saturday, then at Worcester State in the middle of next week, and then at Plymouth State. They'll be on the road as they look to remain perfect in the Little East. Beacons improved to 10-4 overall. And we will call it a wrap here from the Clark Athletic Center. Thanks so much for our entire crew here. They bring you not only all the soccer action, all the volleyball, everything you watch here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Lots of hard-working folks behind the scene. For them, for myself, Nick Cope, this has been UMass Boston men's soccer as the Beacons win 5-1 over Salve Regina.